Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Heather Tiedman and this is
Jonathan Tiedman.
And we are team leads for the Lexington group powered by Century 21 down here in the beautiful Lexington, Columbia area of South Carolina. And today we're going to be talking about why we love South Carolina and why we love Lexington County in particular. But before we get started, you know what I'm going to ask? If you could please. I don't know how the kids do it. How do the kids do the hearts? I like this. No, is that it?
I don't know. Let us know in the comments below.
If you could please like and subscribe to our channel, I greatly appreciate it. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And we're well on our way to our goal of 550 subscribers by the end of 2025. We're at about 480. So we do appreciate all the love and support. And I guess we'll quit rambling and jump on into this. I don't think that's right. Anyway, so like I said, we're going to talk about why we love living in Lexington, South Carolina. Neither one of us are originally from here. I'm a South Carolina native, and Jonathan is from New York. But I'm originally from a very small town, population of about 500 people, and he's from the suburbs. So it is a good bit different for both of us, to be honest. So we're going to just answer a couple of questions and kind of talk about day-to-day life here. So what does a typical weekend look like for us in Lexington?
So a typical weekend for us is we do usually try to do something with a newer restaurant, taking the kids out to explore some of the different places that are opening up around here. We do have a lot of restaurants that have been opening, more than I even know the names of. So it's always fun and exciting. We have friends that like to do that too. So gets us out of the house, going to try a new restaurant. That's one I like.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. We also like to go out on the lake. If you're not members of Carefree Boat Club, free shout out.
For now.
Yeah. Let us get to that 550 subscribers. No, I'm just playing. But we love going out on the lake. We love going out on the boat. We like going to Soda City Market or the Ice House Amphitheater Market on Saturdays.
Yeah, and that one's the Ice House Amphitheater Market's only open for a limited time, throughout summer.
It's only open throughout the summer, so we like to hit that one during the summer. But the Soda City Market's open year round, so we try to, we can hit that any time of the year. But that's one of our favorites. Our kids absolutely love Soda City Market. They love it. Another fun thing that we like to do is go to the Riverbank Zoo or the Saluda Shoals Park. Leo's Landing is an inclusive playground, and it really is a phenomenal playground.
Yeah, they also have soccer fields there.
Oh, yeah. Our oldest loves soccer.
And we like the trails, too.
Yeah, this is true. Or sometimes we just go on walks. There's quite a few different parks around that you can go on walks. Old Mill Pond Park, Gibson Pond Park, the dam. A lot of people like to walk the dam. I don't. He does. But that is what a lot of people like to do. And we enjoy doing it as well. So on to question number 2 is, how do you think our quality of life has changed since living here? Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. So I grew up in a very small town. Like I said, the closest big town was Aiken, and even Aiken's on a smaller scale than Lexington is. So I grew up very rural. 5 acres was a small lot of land out in Wagner. But so moving here was really a big change of pace for me, because while Lexington is that small town, it's not small town that I'm used to.
Right.
To me, it was like a whole new world. So I personally love it. I love being able to live somewhere, especially now, where anything I want can be delivered right to my front door. And I take full advantage of that. But I also think that all the people you meet, because you get out of the small town and into a much larger populace, you're able to meet so many amazing and wonderful people and really create that circle of friends.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, that people moving to South Carolina from out of the area are finding themselves with a little bit more time. Yeah. And so they're looking to do more things, explore, try different fun hobbies that they may have never tried before. And so the networking down here has been pretty awesome to see.
Yeah. And I will say that for people that move here, I have learned that the people that move here tend to actually, I wouldn't say know more about the area, but they know more things to do in the area than people that have lived here their whole lives. Because people that have lived here their whole lives, they generally don't go out and explore. They have their circle of friends, they have their things they like to do, and they kind of stick to that. So oftentimes when people move here, because they don't have that circle of friends, because they don't know all the different places, they're out there exploring. So I do feel like it is a good thing. I'm kind of off topic of the question that was asked. So number 3, I'll let you read.
So number 3 is, what do we love doing together around town?
Eating.
We do enjoy a good eating.
But I mean, that is what we enjoy doing. Like, we do other things because the kids enjoy doing them, but that's one of our favorite things to do, is to go to a nice restaurant, sit down, enjoy ourselves, maybe have a drink or two, and then, or going on walking trails. Those are something that we really enjoy doing. So those are 2 things that are fantastic. We also like going to events at, like, the museum. The Columbia Museum of Art always has some kind of event going on, or the Lexington County Museum also has some, a lot of things going on, like the Murders and Mysteries. So those are fun things that we enjoy doing together.
Yeah, we've also been to the Art Bar, which is a unique brewery downtown.
We have. It is really unique. Like, they do karaoke, they do all kinds of stuff. So if you haven't checked it out, like, if you were a fan of, like, artsy stuff, 80s decor, the Art Bar is kind of cool. I also like Tin Roof, and I also like Wings and Ale Music Bingo. As I'm talking, I'm realizing more things that we actually do together.
We do a lot.
But I really enjoy Music Bingo. We kind of travel around a little bit and enjoy doing that. So, number 4, how is the pace of life different here than where we've lived before?
So where we've lived before, in small town Wagner, South Carolina, the pace of life is different. It's faster than it is in Wagner.
Yeah.
Wagner, very much slow, stop at the red light, roll your window down,
Chat
talk to your friend.
Yeah.
And then, like, when a car pulls up behind you, like, you just kind of expect them to go around.
Yeah.
Because you're talking.
Or you're riding behind a tractor, or
Mm-hmm.
you're meeting your friend at the gas station to chit-chat. But, again, most people that move here are not moving from these tiny little towns. They're moving from places like New York or California or Florida. So how would you compare that to Lexington?
Wildly different.
Yeah.
Night and day. Because coming down here, watching people do their jobs and work, they do it and it all gets done in the same amount of time, but they don't look hurried. They don't look stressed. They don't look like they've had a terrible day. And I feel like that has to do a lot with the pace of things down here, giving everyone a little more time. Yeah,
I do. As someone that works with the people that come from different areas, the South is a lot slower pace. So especially when people are buying houses, which is funny because to buy a house in South Carolina is significantly quicker than it is in most other states. But people in other states expect answers a lot quicker. So, like, we'll submit an offer, and within an hour or 2, they're like, oh, what did they say? I'm like, they may not even get off work yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just things like that. It's when people move here, they're expecting that instant response, and that doesn't happen here. You'll see it with jobs. You'll see it with schools. You'll see it with trades, traffic. True. It's a slower pace of life. It's not in this super go atmosphere at all times. I mean, that it depends on what you're doing as well, but we won't go into that. What is something we didn't expect to love about South Carolina? About Lexington, I'm sorry.
I didn't expect to love the walking trails as much as I do.
This is true.
I've been to a couple of them now. I find myself thoroughly enjoying them. Been on some hikes now outside of the Lexington area, so I have things to compare it to, and they're really nice.
Yeah. One thing I didn't expect to love, because like I said, I am from a small town, and when you're from a small town, everybody tells you that you would hate living in the suburbs or you would hate living in the city, and I find that to be woefully inaccurate. Because personally, I would never move back to a small town. Nothing wrong with the small towns, but I really truly enjoy living near everything, always having conveniences nearby, always having something to do, friends to hang out with. I really enjoy just having that really close to me. I wouldn't want to live in a city, but I do greatly enjoy the suburbs.
Yeah, it definitely works now for what we're doing and the stage we're in our life.
Yeah, for sure. And I personally think my kids have a better quality of life because of that, because they can walk around the neighborhood and hang out with their friends. They can have their friends come over and play soccer. You were not doing that where I grew up. I know that you had a different experience with that. So I think it was similar to your experience where you had kids in your neighborhood that were coming around. I didn't have that. Where you lived, your house was here, and then your closest neighbor was a cow pasture away. And maybe they had kids, maybe they didn't. So I do find that to be fantastic for my kids. And another thing, coming from a small town, is Halloween, like, non-existent in a small town. You may have went to a church for, like, a trunk or treat, but you never, like, no one ever came and knocked on your door.
Oh, well, I never heard the term trunk or treat up north. Down here was the first time I heard it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a New York or a Southern thing or not a New York thing. I don't know.
Oh, well, I love it because when you live in a neighborhood, you get thousands of kids and just come and knock on your door. You get to see all their costumes. And for someone growing up, I never really got to experience Halloween traditionally like that. It was a big change of pace, and I really enjoyed it. I know your experience is a little bit different because he did grow up in a neighborhood similar to
well, where we're at now in the Lexington area feels very much like it did in New York when I was a kid, going knocking door to door for candy and things like that. But out where we came from in South Carolina, no, you weren't. It wasn't worth the calories to walk to the neighbor's house.
You burned off the candy you already ate. Okay, so the next one. Do we ever venture into Colombia? And if so, for what?
All the time.
Oh, literally. Yeah. Probably, if not every day, multiple times a week. We're in Colombia. Whether that's going to the zoo, museums, new restaurants, see our friends. A lot of people travel here for football games. We don't because we're not USC fans. But baseball. There's so much to do in Colombia. And it's a quick 15, 20-minute drive.
Yeah, it's not far at all.
You'll learn that when you live in Lexington, everything's 15 or 20 minutes away. It just is. But you're not walking anywhere. It is very car dependent. But we always go into Colombia, and we really enjoy it. So is there a hidden gem in Lexington that we always tell our friends about? I know yours is probably Barrios. I know we wouldn't even say that. That's not a hidden gem. It's not.
It's not a hidden gem.
It's not a hidden gem anymore because Jonathan's done told everybody about it.
I done did it.
He done did it.
No, it's got to be Barrios. It absolutely has to be Barrios, Lexington. Why not?
Because it's not hidden. It's literally on Main Street.
It's in like one other state in the nation. And it came to Lexington, South Carolina. Sounds like a big deal to me. If you guys love tacos, they were voted in the top 5 best taco stands. I don't remember the publication that sent that, but that was when they were up in Ohio. And then someone has brought...
Speed it up.
You're so mean about Barrios. I love tacos.
I love Barrios as much as you do, but we're at 15 minutes. We got a lot more to go through.
Well, they're affordable tacos, and they taste delicious, and the customer service is chef's kiss.
For me, I think it's going to be the Ice House Amphitheater. While it is pretty well known, a lot of people miss out on their events. During the summer, in the summer, they have free live music almost every Thursday. They have bands come and play. Like if you wanted to buy tickets, you can do that. They have the Ice House Market. They are constantly hosting festivals there. Yeah. Wine walks.
And they're right behind Barrios.
They're right behind Barrios. So for me, I really think a lot of people miss out because they don't look and see what kind of amazing events that the Ice House Amphitheater is hosting. So we're going to try to speed this along because we're already 15 minutes. So we'll talk about, let's see, kind of skip through some of the questions. Do you guys see a question that you want to ask? What's the sense of community like here?
The sense of community is there, for sure.
Oh,
Going out, and whenever you have an issue that you run into, I need a shovel, gotta have a stick of butter. I've never felt uncomfortable going to my neighbor's house asking for something like that because it's always been well received.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find that if you put yourself out there and you go and talk to people, you will make that community. We've talked about this in other videos. The people that move here and actually try to make friends, they almost always have a fantastic tribe of friends. Kind of talking about that, how have we made friends easily as a couple?
How have we made friends easily as a couple?
I would say Meetup app. That's fantastic. We run the Lexington Newcomers, so we're constantly meeting new people that way. We're members of the Lexington Chamber, so we meet people that way as well. We also attend other people's events.
We're also members of the Lake Mary Resort and Carefree Boat Club.
That's true. Shout out again.
Yeah.
And they always have events there as well, so we're able to go out there and meet new people. So we're constantly meeting new people and creating those friendships. And I find that it is pretty easy to do that. If you put yourself out there enough, that you would be fine. Do we feel like we fit in Lexington, and why?
I do feel like I fit in Lexington. Learned to call it home. It's hard to come to a different state and then move to Lexington and be like, this is me. But after time, putting yourself out there and making the friends, you do start to plant roots and have deep, long-lasting roots and friendships.
Yeah, I agree. When I feel like when I first moved here, I settled in a lot easier than he did. But again, I'm from South Carolina, so when I moved here, I kind of got plugged in immediately. I started going to play groups with our middle child, and I started making those friendships. So it was a lot easier for me to get plugged in, and in that sense. Yeah. So I always felt like I fit in here because, I mean, technically I am from here. So it's kind of easy to fit in somewhere that you've kind of always been. So, all right. I'm going to ask one more question to Jonathan, and then we're going to hop off of here because it's 18 minutes in now. How long do you think it took for Lexington to feel like home for you?
How long? So, probably 3 years.
3 years?
Probably 3 years.
That was a long time.
It was during COVID when I was forced to make a change to my daily life and habits and routines. When I was forced to get out of my shell and have more of a sense of community and things like that I started to explore those avenues and channels and really planted my roots here. So it took a worldwide pandemic, but I did plant my roots here. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure not everyone's as difficult to call somewhere home as I am.
Well, hopefully not, because my goodness, 3 years. But so those are some of the things that we love about Lexington and kind of giving you a different perspective. We had a lot more questions, but we apparently ramble and talk a lot. So I'm not going to keep you here for all this time. So if you are considering a move here, what questions do you have? What would you like to know about moving to our area? We are happy to answer those questions. We are happy to discuss them in another video. Drop them in the comments below because we would greatly enjoy reading about them.
And I'd be happy to tell you what my favorite taco is. Just if that's one of your questions, you can put it down there.
Anyway, if you are considering a move to the Lexington, Irmo, or... Oh my gosh.
There's a new listing coming up in the area.
What is happening? Anyway, if you are considering a move to the Lexington County area, feel free to join our Facebook groups, Moving to Lexington, Moving to Irmo, and Moving to Chapin. You can find us on Facebook, and you can ask all the questions that your little heart desires. But until next time, bye!